Good afternoon, sir. We are your name, and we will be presenting our game, Party Rush. I am Lim Mei Xin.
And I am Zhi Xuan.
I am Yulu.
I'm Tong Karyi.
I'm Choong Kar Wen.
And now we will share our game. So this is our game. It is called Party Rush. It is a multiplayer online game, and the game genre is a party game, as many people have to play all together at the same time. The game premise is that it is a village where animals live, and every week they hold a festival where only the strongest and the fastest survive. So it is basically a racing game where players try to make it to the end. So the animals here compete for the prize, which is to them the ultimate prize.
And the goal for our game is to reach the flag at the end point. So in each round, the player will be played 3 areas to complete the round. So the final winner is calculated through the player with the highest point that is the fastest to complete. And the aim for our game is to create a fun and interesting party game, and we are using a linear mechanic and the third-person view.
For our game, we have the different obstacles and the environment for the player to select. So we got the forest area and the city area. The next one is the swamp area, and we got beach area. The last one is the snowy area.
So this is the timeline for our project, and we are still in the game environment design part, and some implementation also happening now. Next.
So now I'm going to talk about the job scopes. First, our group leader, Lim Mei Xin, is going to work on the level 2, which is the beach level. She also will be in charge of the group project and group video. Next, transition, she is going to in charge of the level 3, which is the city level. She also in charge of the UI design, poster, group report. And then Choong Kar Wen, she will be in charge of the level 5, which is the swamp. She also will be doing the group report and group video. Next is me, Tong Karyi. I'm going to in charge of the level 4, forest level, and also the trailer and group project, group report and group video. And next, our last member, which is Yulu. She's going to do the level 1, snowland, and she's going to do the character action implementation and also the group report.
So this is a level design of a snowy area. At this level, the player will initiate at this block. Once the game started, the cannonball will start shooting, and the player need to run across a bridge and escape from the cannonball. Then they will arrive here, which is landmine. Player need to avoid touching the landmine, or if not, they will make an explosion and the player will die. Once player survived at this checkpoint, they need to go on this boat. The boat is limited within 2 players, so player need to push other players into water to make a survive at this block. Once the player reach at this block, the penguin block, the penguin will starting to chasing the player. Once player was caught by the penguin, they will die. And the last block is roller. The player need to run over the roller to reach a destination. At this level, it is purposely designed for the condition when there is relatively more player in one single room, like 20 players. So the linear structure can help to help this level to reduce the massiveness. Then it only requires a simple control that like the run and jump. So it will help the player have a clear goal to reach a destination. The second one is a two-pass game map design. At this map, the one pass is beginning at this block. The player need to go down from the block and jump to this snowman block and jump on the moving platform and landing on these floating blocks and jumping down to reach a destination, which is orange marker. Another way is player go down from the block instead of jumping to the snowman block, and they choose to enter into this little room. Inside this room, the player can pick up the firecrackers and other weapons, and they can attack each other. And they go down from the stairs, they will go into the river, the bridge here. They need to cross the bridge to reach the destination. But on the bridge, the animal will randomly attack the players on the bridge. And also the player can attack from each other. And for the design of these two paths, the first one is a red path. As a red path, it requires the player have a more advanced control of the character, which is the fluent and precise control. It is easier to reach the destination, but it's harder to control. And for the normal player, they can choose the blue line. About this line, it is easier to control. They have the lower requirements to control the player, but it is harder to reach a destination. And by considering the multiplayer game function, the core gameplay element is the player can interact with a game object and we interact with other player. So in this blue line path, the player able to interact with each other by pick up the weapons to attack each other. And same times, about current game market, the multiple player game market, the player have a potential requirement to have a social communicate in the game. They are not only to enjoy the gameplay itself. So in this map design, it allows the player to gather together in this little room, and they can interact with each other and maybe communicate with each other. And there's also game control mechanism in these two lines. When I want to control the game time into 3 to 5 minutes, so when the game reaches to the end, the cloud over there will starting to snow. The snow will like poison gas. The player will starting to be killed by the snow step by step. So the whole game will be speed up by this operation. The game time will be controlled within 3 to 5 minutes. And we're back to the scene. The basic animation assigned and the script assigned are already done in this scene, but later maybe will be add more adjustments to make the whole level be more fluent. So this is all for the snowy area.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Lim Mei Xin, and I am in charge of level 2, which is the beach level in our game Party Rush. General layout looks like this. It is the beach area, so it has a lot of water, and players are supposed to get past the map without falling into the water. The water makes a slow effect, but if players actually fall off the terrain, it will be game over for them. So players start at the starting tile here, and they have to make it to the end tile here, where there will be one flag signaling a trophy for the game. The game has at least 5 obstacles in there. So the first obstacle will be this. As you can see, there are 3 large beach balls over here. These balls will roll around and attack the player or push the player off the terrain. There will be mini sandcastles on the beach. where if the players collide with the sandcastle will expand and push players away from the area. Over here are moving tiles, which will move back and forth like this. I have not put the animation in yet, so the tiles will move back and forth, and players will have a harder time to get onto the terrain here. So another obstacle will be the sea levels rise at a certain time. There will be an interval where the sea levels will start rising and falling, and once the sea levels rise to a certain point, players will slow down if they touch the water. I will be putting platforms above here where the sea levels won't be able to reach, so players that manage to get into the platform before the time starts where the sea level starts rising will be able to get to this place faster than trick players stuck in the sea. There will also be an enemy over here shooting things at the player. There will also be hidden terrains where it will suddenly appear and disappear, like this. It will suddenly appear and disappear as players are running by, so players have to get to the end quickly. So that is the explanation for my game. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Chan Zhi and I will be present my level. Level 3 is the city area. So first of all, in this level I have 5 sections. Section 1 is the shopping frame, and the player step on it will be fall down with a delay second, and it will be respawn back. So I will show it. When the player time on it, after a few seconds it will be dropped down and it will be respawn at the same place. So the section 2 is the moving tower. This moving tower will be moving up and down, and the player need to jump over it in order to get into the next checkpoint. And the section 3 is the moving truck, and the truck will be moving with a different speed, and the player need to jump over it and in order to get to the next checkpoint without falling down. If falling down, it will be respawned at the checkpoint. And the section 4 is the spinning obstacles. Over here. And the player are pushing the obstacles, will be spin around the middle point. So the player need to push in order to escape from these spinning obstacles maze. To push in order to get into the next section. So the last section in this level is the rolling barriers. The barriers will be spawned and roll down on the road, and the player need to get past into it. The player need to get past into it in order to get into the final checkpoint. So when you hit by the barriers, it will be down. So you will need to avoid to hitting the player until getting up to the end point. So this basically the 5 sections. The environment design, I'm using the city area, so overall is by the city. And the elements I use also is the city object, like the truck, the buildings, the crane. So this is basically my level 3. Thank you.
Hello sir, I'm Tong Karyi. Now I'm going to present my level, which is the jungle level. So first of all, this is the overview of the whole map, which is the map of this level. There are 5 obstacles here, and the player needs to pass through all these obstacles to reach the final goal, which is here. We can see orange platform with the red flag here. So first, the player will be at here, and the player will need to pass through the first obstacle in order to get to the second obstacle here. So the first obstacle, it is the poison lake. The poison lake is deathful for the player. So if the player walk into the lake or pushed by other player into the lake, he or she will die and need to play again. So after passing through this poison lake, we will go to the second obstacle here, which is the small maze filled by the 3 log. So after passing through this map, the maze, the player will move on to the third here, which is the cave that has mysterious pillar that will come out and hit the player. So if the player hit by the pillar, he or she will die and need to play again, start from the beginning. So let's see the animation here. It moves in and out. If you hit by it, you die. And then after this one, we are going on to the number 4. Go here, which is the moving platform. You can see the platform are moving horizontally and vertically, from left to right, from right to left, up and down, down and up. So the player have to be careful and not to fall down from the platform and moving from one platform to the other platform. After passing this, we will go to the last obstacle in this level here. So this is the monster cloud that will move up and down. So the player have to these clouds to reach the destination, the goal here. So the player have to see the timing. So if the timing is wrong and the cloud is moving down, you get smashed by it and you will die and need to start again. So this is the obstacle 5. So for the winning and losing condition, is the winning condition need to pass through all these obstacles and reach the goal. The losing condition is get fall down or smashed by the obstacle. So it's pretty simple. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, so I'm Choong Kar Wen and I'll explain the game design for level 5. So this is the overall environment for level 5. I also put the fog in the environment. However, the player will only play on this platform. They are floating. And the starting point will be this platform. So all the player will be here when the game starts. And the ending point will be here. So the player must pass through all the obstacles and then reach the ending point will be the winner. So if the player drop down from any of the platform, he will lose the game. So I have multiple obstacles here. Now let's see. So the first one will be these two. They are the moving platform. And then the second one will be this. So there's something will appear from the ground and the player must avoid it. And then these are the rotating platform. They will keep rotating. And then these 5 are the very narrow path. So when a player going down to this platform, player must be very careful because the path is very narrow, so 1 or 2 players can only be at the same time when going down. And when they're going down to these 2 platforms, these 2 platforms are also the moving platform. So when a player going down onto here, he must go to the empty side if he is not able to go to this platform, because this platform will go to the back. So if he keep in this place, this path will push it down. And then the last one will be these 2. They are also the rotating platform, so they will keep rotating, and there are some logs on the surface. The player must avoid touching it, and when going to here, he must balance their character very well. So now let's play to see the animation. So it will be like this. The moving platform, the rotating, and this one is the fireplace. The player must avoid it. And then the moving platform and the rotating. So I think the challenge one for my level is the player must control their character very well, because the player is quite easy to drop from any of the point. So I think that's all from my presentation. Thank you.